So, hello again. Here I am after my 5 male um, DMT trip ceremony with the medicine derived from the plants. So, back to my body now. It was a short trip. It was a very pleasant reminder of what we truly are, and the way the trip went for me was immediately I was taken out of my body, sort of, while being aware of my body, but it was unfolding and unfolding and unfolding, and there was some visual representation of how I felt and how life is structured, and it kept um, just unfolding with more joy and more love and more love and more love, to a point where I saw myself as an energy which was still holding back and grounding itself in this experience. And I felt at that time that the love and the sort of experience was so great. Um, not the experience, like our being, what we are so great and so big that when I was being limited to this body, I was ready to let it go, because it was just unfolding into this love, into this eternal love, place of eternal love, and it was unfolding in such a way that um, that I had actually let go. I thought I was dying, because it was unfolding in such a beautiful way that I thought it must be death, and it must be it, because it felt like just place of eternity and love, and there was that small bit of me holding back, and then when I was able to let it go, I had completely surrendered, and I said, I love everyone, I love everyone, and I'd sort of said goodbye, but in the same way that I simply recognized everyone for what they are, and the love that they are. And then at that moment, I really felt um, somehow the experience reminded me at that moment, it was like I was embodying Ramdas, as somehow there was a reference to Ramdas and him dying, because he had many of these experiences of him reconnecting with oneness and with the love that um, is the essence of this creation of this existence. And I felt that his dying, and when he knew where he was going, and when he let go out of his body, that last breath he took, I felt like him, and I felt like I was embodying the love that he has for everybody, and embodying the being, the love within that he embodies. And I felt like I was speaking as he was when he was at the last moments of his existence as Ramdas. And I was letting go at that moment, and I just felt like him in completeness. I don't know why did he come up. I wasn't even um, having him close to my awareness in the past few days or weeks. He arose through the experience and through the immensity of love, and through maybe the meditations that I was doing with him, with his voice and his guidance. Uh, and I'm not even like I didn't even I don't know much about his death. Um, I just knew what he knew. I knew that what he knew was what I knew, and what I knew was what I gained from or what I uncovered from my experience some 5 years ago with the heroic mushroom strip, which I can say was stronger than this experience I had with 5 ml DMT. But I was experiencing it from a different perspective. I didn't at all expect it, while this time around I kind of knew what to expect and I was completely easing into it. Whereas last time it took me by surprise and it expanded me in such an infinite way. I become the infinity itself. Um, Whereas this time I was gradually, smoothly. The medicine was sort of taking me and expanding me and transforming how I was feeling and how attached I was, and and unfolded into this sort of, even through pictures, through emotions, through visuals, through intuitive knowing. It was taking me, taking me, taking me. Um, and then at the last moment, when I really needed to surrender, when I felt it's like there's just that bridge over to that last stage. It was just everything was becoming more intense and immense, intense and intense. The love, and then the visuals, and it's not even as much of the visuals because it's not DMT. It's 5 ml DMT. It's more inwardly like meditative, like um, experience rather than visuals, and very stimulated by visuals. No, there wasn't many visuals. It was the same structural knowing, intuitive expression of the oneness in whatever way it's going to transform. And I don't know how other people see it, but it's the feeling, it's the knowing that we are oneness. And when you go into that oneness, the sense of joy and sort of a ecstasy, but not ecstasy, it's just sort of an awe, but a loving awe. It's like an with such a loving flavor. It's just and you, when I was just going into this uh, full love, full love, in this into the ocean of love, when I was diving in, and it was like I needed to surrender my last breath, and with the last breath I just said, I love everyone, I love everybody, and I just swallowed. And it's like at that moment I just came into the oneness, and I understood that that is the ultimate trip, that is the ultimate place where we're going, where we all are in essence, where our essence is and what we really are, and what our true experience. When we get limited to this body, we gain certain experience, and we come back to this, we come back through different ways and means, through sleeping. DMT is is something that is naturally produced. So we continue to have this experience, and we merge back with this essence, with the consciousness, with the love. We merge back with it, and this was the sort of experience of mine. This was the peak when I thought that I was dying. I honestly thought, but I was so totally okay with it, and probably um, because I already had this other experience where I was shown my eternal side, and was shown my eternal nature, and was shown that everything is infinite, and it's all happening all the time. There's no end to it. It's just existence is brilliance in itself, and we're experiencing it through so many different ways and so many levels to that it's just never ending. You're gonna continue experiencing in so many different ways, and you can choose what to be and where to be and how. And infinity, I mean, there's no end. There isn't an end. And when I already had this knowing, and that's why I had trust and the way my life had changed since 5 years, because I have this trust and I know it from with my being, because of the experience that I had, and continued to have experiences practical, when I trust things and trust in everything, trust in flow, and everything is just flowing without me needing to interfere. Life is just flowing, and the more I let go of control, the more life is just happening for itself, and I'm just observing, and I'm enjoying the feeling of bliss. I'm enjoying a feeling of bliss, not because I achieved something, because I no longer want to control something to be achieved, and I let go of that control. And by letting go, you go into this current, into this flow, and that flow has a flavor of bliss, the very same bliss that we are, the very same bliss and love that we are. So we continue experience it, and we continue merging back to it. We find a lover, we love our children, we love this, we love that, we do things that we love. We continue to be in that space, and that's when life is just taking care of itself. So from this knowing, from this practical experience already, I was um, engaging with the ceremony and with this medicine, um, and it had basically, this time around, it was unfolding in such a way that when I was merging back to a similar place where I was before, not as intense. Last time was just, oh, everything is everything, and I am that. And this time was unfolding through layers, and beautifully so, very beautifully. It was just going gradually from one another, but just in a smooth way, very gentle, very beautiful. And it took me to the last stage before bliss is what I am, and existence is love, and just beauty and everything, such immense beauty. Everything is absolute perfection, absolute, um, just everything is fits, every piece fits another, everything is just in a perfect harmony. And um, and I'm not suggesting that life on earth isn't harmony. We can find that harmony by trusting intuition, and we are working through the same sensations, maybe not as intense at times as what I had felt today. This was an intensified and such a strong feeling that we're gradually only building up to that as human beings. And when we die, we go into that. And I had been honored to feel it now twice in my life, and this second time, I felt I felt that the need for this trip for me, I was guided to this trip. I didn't necessarily want it. I must have it, or I must have this healing journey. No, I feel like I'm in total surrender and trust in life, and I absolutely accept myself for what I am. And I'm so enjoying that there's no need for any type of healing for me, or at least that feeling of neediness. It's just not there. So I was sort of taking this trip, um, going to the ceremony by being playful, by just kind of saying, why not? I mean, why not? Simply, why not? And I really just wanted to see what would it be like to experience it from my point of view as I am now. And I am in a place of complete harmony. Not at all times. I'm a human being. I'm a work in progress. But there's that inner harmony at all times now. I'm allowing all to happen. I'm allowing life. And um, from this point of view, when this happened, I now see, and I'm going to the point now, that this trip was sort of, it allowed me to die. I actually allowed myself to die. I was ready. I was so ready to die. There was no regrets. There was nothing. I was ready to die. And that last out breath when I said, I love everybody. I went to this existence of love, of complete perfection, and I was that. I was that in itself. I was existence itself. Everything just made a complete sense. Everything was just in complete harmony, and in such a strong way that it just takes you away. That feeling, it just takes you away. It's like it's an amazing awe. It's the most amazing awe you had felt. And so then I sort of came back out of it, or kind of gradually sort of returned back a bit more grounded into this, which we are, yet with the sort of energy which is connecting everything with everything. You're aware that you're still connected to this stronger reminder through a feeling that we are that, and it's all in perfect harmony anyway. And then I look at the facilitator, and I look at him, and he's looking at me as a godsend, looking at me as the chosen one, looking at me as and I recognize him for the very same. He's like, it feels like I had broken through another side, and I say hello, and he's telling me welcome home. As it's like if I had just returned back, and I had sort of finally made my way to this way of existing, and it was so beautiful. I looked at the guys, and I started talking Lithuanian to them. I looked at the guys. I said, "Taigi dabar viskas, taigi jau, tai čia viskas, tai jum, tai dabar šakės." What I said was, "That's it. That is it. Now you guys are screwed." But what I meant by screwed, it's like we now know the direction we're going. So all your stuff that you were being distracted with, we just go straight now. So we cut through it. We're here. We know where we're going. So it was an amazing experience. I hugged both of the guys that were with me and spoke to them in Lithuanian. They understood no word, but they said they understood the energy behind what I said. And it was so beautiful. We hugged. And then I laid on the floor, and it just, at that moment, when you get in touch with oneness, when you get in touch with your true nature, when you get in touch with the infinite love that you are, it is sort of exposing everything about you in a non-judgmental way. So you get to break down your life in little segments. Everything is just like whoosh, opens up for you, and you see everything non-judgmentally, and you can look at everything from such a point of view just for what it is, and you look at everything in such a perspective which you had not had before, because you were never able to just kind of go like that with everything that you are. And on some bits just, all of those little puzzle pieces just make you as a whole. And you look at all of that, and it begins with your childhood and it goes all the way, and it makes you what you are. And it was just so beautiful. I just started laughing, crying, and just with such, and there was sort of like a feeling of what's the feeling? What's the word I'm looking for? Like not regret, but like I'm sorry for myself, like sorry for myself to have gone through all that, and sorry for my father to have gone through things, and sorry for my friends to have gone through things, and sorry for my parents, and so on and so forth, for everyone, for things that I have done, and for things that I didn't mean to do. And at that point, when I was going through all the stuff, all the nasty stuff I've done, all the unfair things I have done, I was really like crying for forgiveness, but I was forgiving myself. I was forgiven by the nature of it's doing. Like, it was perfect to do because it was supposed to happen, but I was sort of forgiving everything and everyone, and myself included, and everything, and absolutely forgiveness for all. And at the same time sorry, and truly feeling the emotion, that forgiveness and that emotion It was yeah, there was so much emotion going through me, and it was being vocalized, and I was laying on the floor and just like, not hysterically, but just like laughing and also crying at the same time. There was no tears coming, but there was this sort of a sad laughter, but a very beautiful one, a very beautiful, very deeply heart touching one. Um, so that was a beautiful moment, and um, then I started standing up, and the guide had said, "There's still processes happening with you. Sit down, lie down." So I lied back down, and I covered myself, and I began integrating the experience, and I was just breathing through it, and still feeling greatly one with all existence. And it's not um, an alien sort of a feeling for me, because that's the feeling I had since my first breakthrough and first realization to what our true nature is. So um, it stayed with me, but it intensifies with um, um, such plant medicine. So I'm forever grateful for it. Um, I suppose the highlight of it is certainly dying. I felt like dying Ramdas, and it was beautiful. I'd really been touched by that man, um, and I was judging him a little bit. I was judging him by being attached to his guru a bit too much, and him honoring the guru very much. But he was doing it from simply from loving him so much, and um, it's just his physical expression, and I completely appreciate him as for what he is. And the moment when he was dying, and when I was dying as him, as I was dying for like as myself, as Ramdas, and when I said I love everyone, I really meant it, and um, it was just such a profoundly amazing, such a profoundly incredible feeling of love for everyone, and readiness to let go of your body, readiness to die, not to cross over, but just because it's happening and you're okay with it. I was totally okay. I 100% thought that that is it. And the guide was telling me, let go, let go, surrender, because there was sort of a clinging and clinging, and he was a brilliant guide, and he continued to relax me into the experience, to completely let go and surrender into it, and allow medicine take you wherever it needs to be. And it took me all the way. It took me all the way, and I'm forever grateful for the experience of dying, the experience of dying, a beautiful dying. And that's exactly why I wouldn't necessarily use an expression looking forward, but um, the fact that I'm not fearful, not fearing death, is just a small grain of sand in the whole beaches of the whole ocean. The true um, feeling of how I feel about death is more of a trust, and just knowing and just accepting that it's coming, and it's just a transformation from one type of experience to another. And I could say I'm looking forward to it, and when I'm closer to my death, I will say that. Um, but I'm enjoying my life as is, and I'm really grateful for have experienced the oneness again, and the love, and the this letting go, this accepting, this very strong, suggestive, um, energetic sort of unfolding into, okay, if you let go completely, that's it. You go in, you go in, you go in, you let go into everything. You become one with all. You become one, the one, one. You become simply existence, but by becoming existence, you become all things. You become so much love, so much love. You are consciousness. You are life itself. You by letting go. So that is the trip we are on as human beings. And that's my experience, is by letting go of your fears and things, and you continue to make way for more love and more joy and more blissful experiences in your life. And psychedelics and 5-ML DMT had basically reminded me that. So that's, I suppose, the end to my 5-MeO DMT experience. So thank you for your time. Blessings your way, and see you on the other side. Bye.